Hey everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. It's Mary Payne. It's Thursday. That means it's Shades of Bravo. And guess what? I know I told you guys it was going to be Deanna Chang, but it's going to be Kate Casey because she's at this conference with me and I grabbed her and pulled her into my hotel room like a real creeper. Hey Kate.
Hi.
Hi. So here we are. We're here to talk about Vanderpump Rules in the Valley. And I did go last night to Jax's Sports Bar and Grill. And they were there and it was on. And so Vanderpump Rules was on like all the TVs all around like it was sports. Mm-hmm. And then when the Valley came on, they cranked it up to like 100.
Oh.
And that's when I was looking, me and Ingrid and Ryan Bailey were like, now it's time to go. Because it got so loud. There was no, like, I couldn't, and I'm talking really loud because of the way we're recording. There's no way even talking this loud we could hurt each other.
Really?
Yeah, because there was a TV right above our head.
No.
It was so loud. So when Vanderpump Rules was on, it was just like being in a sports bar. But when they cranked it up, I was like, oh. So people were like, are we now just supposed to sit in silence and watch the show? Like, is this what we're doing here? So, and also it's weird because we're on the West Coast and I didn't know what time anything started. And like it started at like 8:30 and it's like something about YouTube TV. I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, we did, Jax did come by our table. He bussed our table. He came by our table and picked up our empty dishes and he took a picture with us. We talked to Kristen for a while. She apologized to Ryan Bailey. Like we talked to her for a while and then she said to Ryan, I just wanted to tell you I'm sorry because I guess Ryan went on her podcast and he asked about the Jax and Brittany being separated thing. And she was like, that's completely not true. They're totally together, even though she knew they were separated.
Oh.
And then Zach, the friend, jumped in. He's like, we were just told that we couldn't say anything. We, the stars of the show, we were told we're not supposed to say anything. So we get it, Zach, you're on the show.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'm harboring resentment because she was supposed to do a podcast episode with me and flaked, just didn't
show up.
Well, no, it was like, the times, the Zoom.
Yeah.
And then I texted her, said, everything okay? And she just totally ghosted me. And then I have a mutual friend and she said, oh, we were just talking about you the other day. And she said, oh, I got to call Kate. I'm like, what in the world do these people live in? Like she just
totally forgot.
Yeah, but I texted her two times. Mm-hmm. Like, what?
Yeah.
I can't take this.
She was fine. She was fun to talk to. She was wearing a Valley sweatshirt and she was there. And then Brittany came in and then I guess Michelle came in. But because I don't know these people very well, I mean, Michelle, there's like a couple of brown haired girls on the show. They all look the same. So somebody like, Michelle's over there. I was like, great. I don't know who she is. But then there were tons of other people sitting with them that I had no idea who they could all be on the show. I don't know. But,
would that be lame if you show up at the bar playing the show that you're on?
No, I mean, they advertise it. They have a big sign outside. It's like, come to the Valley watch party.
If you're on the show, or you're going to go, hey, gotta leave. I'm going to go to Jax's so I can watch myself on television and let people come up and ask me questions.
Right. You mean if you weren't Jax? Like Jax kind of has to be there because it's like,
No, like so if you're just like the cast members on the show, gotta go. Going over to Jax, they're going to be playing my show.
Yeah, I think that's weird, but also maybe if you want to be on TV, that's for you. That's what you want. You want people to ask for your picture. And I mean, when we were leaving, somebody was asking for Ryan Bailey's picture.
Yeah.
Nobody was asking for my picture. No surprise. But that was fine. My feelings weren't hurt. It's fine. He's big in that space, but it was very fun. It was fun to see him. And the food was good. We had some Mama's beer cheese. It was good. It was almost like
what is beer cheese? It's like port wine cheese with beer in it.
So yeah, it's like if you buy, yes, it is like a port wine cheese that you would get like at the grocery store in a little tub. It's like that. I would also in a Southern way, like relate it to like a pimento cheese with no pimentos. Do you know what I mean? It's like a shredded cheddar. I guess there's beer in it. It didn't taste like beer, but they served it with celery and fresh pretzels, like soft pretzels. So it was good. Okay. And we had pizza and we had the drinks were good. I think somebody said, oh, it sucks. And they serve you drinks in plastic cups. My drink was in a perfectly lovely martini glass. It's not in a plastic cup. Maybe that's because it's Tuesday. It's Vanderpump Rules night. I don't know. But it was nice. Yeah. It was fun. So did that, then came home, crashed here because of the time difference. And then we went to Podcast Movement and we had our panel and Kate was the moderator. She did a great job. And you're born for that. Like you didn't have a notes or anything. You just winged it. You did great.
It's my job every day.
I know. Me too, but I would have had to have notes. It was really good. But let's talk about this Vanderpump episode. I just have a couple of notes. It was season 11, episode 9, Kiss, Kiss, Revenge Bang. That's the name of the episode. So did you see some or any of this episode?
I saw some of the episode. I thought that it was bizarre that Lala and Tom Schwartz would be getting together at like a smoothie joint to just talk. I mean, in what world would she give this guy any time at all?
No.
Okay. Also, Tom and Ariana living in the same house, and I don't know. I'm kind of over that story.
Yeah,
totally.
I mean, it's literally just got finished this week. So, I mean, in real time, then it's like It's like August of last year.
Well, they were at this event at one point. I think I did watch more than I thought I did. They were at this outdoor space. Could have been the Roosevelt. I don't know, but
no, it was the Ziggy.
Okay, there you go.
The Ziggy.
So they're all there together, and Tom walks over. He's like, I'm sorry, Ariana. I just want to know if you read that email from like a month ago about my lawyer, about the deal, and blah, blah. And she just won't even look at him.
No, she was like, my lawyer replied.
I mean, at some point, just go, you know what? I'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
I get it. You're mad, but at some point, I don't know if it's for the sake of TV, but I'm just having fatigue from it. And then the last part that I found annoying is that I don't, first of all, believe that Allie likes James at all. Any scene with them in that house that he owns, she just seems completely disconnected to him. And she was putting him down like he's her gay best friend. There was a scene where she's like, he shops for me because I can't be bothered with shopping. I'm like, because you're so busy doing astrological charts, you can't go shopping. She's like, so he picks out all my outfits, and then they're like setting them up to look stupid. And he walks out of the closet with a white dress and a little pink bag, and he's like, oh, I put it together. And you get the sense that she is probably just using him to be on the TV show. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, maybe it's because he's so horrible. Maybe to the crew members, they're like, we're going to do you dirty.
I think that it's interesting when the two of them are together, you can tell there's no chemistry.
None.
Right? It's like on 90 Day Fiance with Natalie and Josh, and there's no chemistry. And she's like, we've been together 2.5 years. I'm like, barely seen you guys hold hands. When you're near each other, you don't act like you like each other. There's no chemistry between the two of you. You know, like some people on TV, you can like, okay, like they're a couple, like you could tell. They talk like a couple, but there seems to be no chemistry. Like he seems to be pawing at her quite a bit, and she's just like, James, you know?
And then, so in the scene where she's at the party with all of them, she seems so much younger.
Yeah.
The fact that she's dating a guy she seems to have zero interest in, I just feel like it's the most blatant act of using someone to get a career as an influencer or a reality TV cast member that I've ever seen.
She's got a new hit single out now, you know.
I mean, come on. And then I think somebody sent me a clip of her like on YouTube singing covers. It was just like, we're just all gonna just like accept this.
Yeah.
And her career, she wants to do astrological charts.
She couldn't make it as a brown-haired Taylor Swift, so she decided to be an astrologer. And my friend Mandy...
By the way, I'm a hypocrite because I would like an astrological chart. If she called me, I'd go, okay, let's do it.
Mandy Slutzker of Is This Real Life got her chart read by Allie and said it was incredible.
Really?
She said she was so good.
Okay, never mind. I take it all back.
We take it all back. Allie, we're a fan. Call us.
Fine.
Call us. So we find out on this episode, Schwartz kissed Sheena in Vegas like many, many years ago. Like she was like, I mean, it was like right after I got engaged. I was like, what? She goes, yeah, I got engaged to Mike Shea. That's what it was. I was like, you're not helping yourself. You were engaged to somebody and you're making out with your friend.
My one experience that I will never forget is that it was right before Caitlyn Jenner became Caitlyn.
Okay.
It was like Bruce Jenner, like the last days of Bruce.
Okay.
And I went to this event. I had to meet up with a client, and it was like a golfing event. And Brody and Brandon were there with then Bruce.
Okay.
And so that was kind of like a weird vortex, like whoa, I can't believe you're here. And then Sheena was there with her ex-husband, and it was this golfing event, and she was wearing wedges.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I am in the most strange moment, like the world's on its axis kind of thing.
Yeah. Watching the Elvis documentary. It's going to come out Monday, you guys. It's called Loving Elvis on Peacock, and I covered it with Landon. That's going to be out on Monday, so go watch that.
Wait, I interviewed the director, right?
I meant to ask you, and then to ask you what episode it was, because I want to go back and listen, because Landon and I had a couple of questions.
Okay.
We had a couple of questions.
First of all, that is an absolute must watch for every single person to watch, because
it's mind-blowing, that Elvis documentary.
Yeah, you were going to never look at Elvis the same. He was an absolute predator.
Yes.
And
a groomer.
To not realize this in the year 2024 kills me.
Yeah.
That's despicable.
But there's so much on it with Linda Thompson, who of course was married to.
She's still living in a delusional space.
Yes, well, lots of them are.
She's trying to make sense of it. I think they all want to believe that they were the only person.
Yeah. Yeah. But Linda, it's interesting. So when we got, right when Linda came on the screen, I said to Landon, I'm going to blow your mind. Are you ready? He goes, yeah. I said, do you know who Linda Thompson is, who her husbands have been? And he didn't know. I was like, she was married to Bruce Jenner when Bruce was Bruce, and had Brandon and Brody. And then she was married to David Foster. I said, she's been nominated for an Oscar and a Grammy and has won an Emmy. I said, so she's very well known, but a lot of her writing credit stuff is because she was married to David Foster. And he was like, Brody and Brandon Jenner, that is their mom.
Yeah.
He could not believe it. He could not believe it. Now, what that has to do with anything we just said? Oh, because you said you saw Bruce Jenner at the golf tournament. Okay. So we found out Schwartz kissed Sheena in Vegas many, many years ago, right when she got engaged to Mike Shea. That was a bombshell. So it's now.
I can't imagine that as a wet kiss.
She said he literally pushed me into a corner, and I was like, oh my God, go right for me.
I just can't. I don't feel like that was a romantic kiss.
No, I think he was drunk and was like, any storm in the port, any hole, anytime. He didn't care. So he kissed her, and now we find out Katie hooked up with Schwartz's friend Max, Brocktail Schwartz. So now what they're laying the groundwork for is we have to keep Sandoval on the show. So we're going to show how all these other people have screwed around with everybody else. So Schwartz kissed Sheena. Oops, that was bad. And they never told anybody. Now on this episode, Katie hooked up with Max, who's one of Schwartz's best friend. So now we're trying to show Katie is a bad person because she did that to Schwartz, even though they're divorced and they're both dating other people. And that Schwartz kissed Sheena in Vegas 8 years ago. So they're trying to lay this groundwork to remind us that all of them are cheaters. Right. So we're not so mad at Tom Sandoval.
Tom Sandoval is so irrelevant to the show now.
Totally.
He makes no sense.
His dumb outfits. I mean, that's it.
I got to tell you, I just don't think this show works anymore. Vanderpump Rules,
that's why the Valley is going to be successful, because it's what people are really doing in their lives now.
So I think that what's going to happen is
Sheena's moving to the Valley.
Sheena and Lala move to the Valley.
Yeah, because they've just recently bought Valley Homes.
But Vanderpump, as we know it, is gone after this season.
I mean, I don't know why they didn't do what me and many other people suggested a long time ago, was rotate that cast through like Menudo. Always keep it Vanderpump Rules. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And then put the older people on the Valley.
But I got a lot of shit when I said this is the last year for Vanderpump Rules. People were like, no, the ratings are too high. No, I'm sorry. Even when the ratings are high, sometimes.
No, I think they're going to end it. I think they're going to end it on 12.
End it on a high. I ended on a high.
They're not going to end it on 11. We're going to end it on 12 because we've got more of this. Ariana is famous and everybody hates her. And you just showed me just now that she got cast to do the Love Island USA.
To be the host.
To be the host, yeah. Never watched it, so I don't know. But I know it's a big deal.
You know what? It's not. Love Island UK is massive.
It's
not that big of a show here.
Yeah. I mean, I watched one season of Love Island UK, which was great. But I could never do it again because of the commitment.
It's different. It's a different kind of show here, and it's just not that big of a hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think I think she has said that's her favorite show.
She did. Remember, she said, I just want somebody to sit on the couch with me and watch Love Island.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's probably a huge.
Okay, that would have come to me 2 hours from now. I'd have been like, shit.
Yeah.
So the thing about.
But do you think she'll be a good host, though?
She could be.
I think that will be interesting to see, actually.
I think she could be.
People can go from talent to the host.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I think she could be. Now, what do you think about, did you hear this part? That the reason Sheena knew where Max was all night is because she has 56 people's location in her phone.
But then she never knew that Raquel was having an affair with Tom Sandoval.
She didn't. She wouldn't look. I have 2 people. Those are my kids. That's
I
it.
don't have anybody. My husband has that, like, because their phones are connected.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever called Dan was I was at Mia's school for 35 minutes. I couldn't find her, and then he gave me the location, and I found her outside of the weight gym talking to a golf cart full of football players.
Yeah, well, listen.
That's the only time I've ever done that.
Did you embarrass her and yell at her in front of them?
No, because I looked at her and I gave her those eyeballs, and she goes, "Mom, please not here. Please not here."
Yeah.
I really wanted to, though.
Yeah, that was good. That was good of you holding back. Okay, so what do you think about Joe and the bullying that's happening with Joe? Now, I want to say two things.
Joe seems so weird to me. Something is not right.
Okay, I agree that she's weird. But, she says, she has ADHD and that's why she's weird.
So I have a daughter with ADHD.
Well, so do I.
Like that.
No, my daughter doesn't act like that. But everybody can be different. So I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt here. Because Joe says, the girls are bullying her, which they kind of are.
Well,
but of course,
bully everybody.
But Lala's like, welcome to the group, bitch. That was me 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're ruthless.
They're ruthless. And I mean, Lala's like, no, she gets bullied. She gets bullied. Like, that's what we do. But what's interesting is Ariana's confessional, she says, no, I don't feel bad about bullying Joe because you know why? She knew the whole time this affair was going on. She came to my house for Thanksgiving with my family, knowing she had dropped Sandoval and Big Bear with Raquel.
Well, so maybe she's terrified and acting weird because she's going to be on TV and with the thought of I might be confronted about all that I've done.
Yeah. And I mean, but Ariana goes, I don't care. More bullying. I don't care. She goes, she knew what was going on. She came to my home and had Thanksgiving with my family, knowing those two were having an affair and they were all in the house together. She's like, no, fuck her. So
the thing that's hard for me to watch about Vanderpump Rules is Ariana absolutely hates the show, doesn't want to be part of it. And
she needs it.
So obvious, she's not enjoying the process or really care about anybody at this point. She's just over it. Yeah.
Well, but she needs it to keep that fame train going, I think.
It sort of makes me feel like Candace on Real Housewives of Potomac.
Yeah.
It's I could totally see 2 seasons ago. She's like, I don't want to be on the show anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay. Let's see. This is Ariana says Joe was complicit in the affair. And now Sandoval goes on a date with a girl named T. Now, did you see this scene where Ariana approached her at the bar? Now, if Ariana didn't care, I don't know why she went up to this girl at the bar.
I just think.
Just to fuck with her?
She wants to just make his life hell and anybody who knows his life hell. But by the way, all the girls that he meets in this episode, it is so full of shit. I think he had an off-show hookup or girlfriend.
Yeah.
The other time. These are all girls that just wanted to be on TV or producers, I don't know, arranged it for them to get some camera time. I don't think he's interested in one of them.
Remember that he was in New Orleans at a Marriott gym with some blonde girl.
Beautiful girl. And
yeah.
These girls are just in what world? But they must be extras from one of his shows. So
this girl named T is standing at the bar. And so that's when Sheena comes up to Brock and was like, why didn't you tell her that? That was none of your business. Or why are you doing that? And because Brock's like, we're on a show. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. But it was interesting because Ariana approached this girl and was like, you guys have been on a date? And, T's like, yeah. And she's like, don't believe everything you hear. You don't really know the real story. And T's like, okay. And then she says, I wouldn't waste how old are you? And she goes, 24. And Ariana goes, that sounds about right. Or 34. I can't remember what she said. But Ariana goes, that sounds right. She goes, don't waste your time on a 41-year-old narcissist. And then she was like, okay. And Ariana goes, I'm just telling you, he was fucking my best friend while I was at my grandmother's funeral. She was like, later. I was like, okay, that's funny.
Yeah.
Because by the way, Ariana wasn't forward facing the camera or anything. They were just catching the audio. And I love that. I love it because she wasn't doing it to be make a show because there were so many people jammed in that corner of the bar because Sheena was yelling at Brock about Brock telling Schwartz about the Max thing. Anyway, I got to say, I know that you think it's over. I think it's great. Disagree. Now, we're going to talk about the Valley that you and I just watched the end of season 1, episode 2. This episode was called Tit for Tat.
It's the tits.
Because of the tits. Listen, I don't like the word tit. I don't like the term titty twister, but I've heard it more in the last 2 weeks than I ever need to hear it in my whole life.
Okay. Weird thing about the Valley, all these guys, it's is it really still fun to pants people and to twist their nipples?
No.
Why do straight men do that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Not all straight men, but this certain segment, it feels like, I just want to go, it's so clear you want to touch another man. Just own it.
It's weird. And it's like, it's also people that do pranks and people that, you know what I mean? I don't like pranks. I don't like anybody to pull a prank on me. I don't like to do a prank on somebody else. I don't like it.
Yeah. But I think it's veiled homophobia when you're like, you're an, use the F word, or like you're a dick sucker, or what. It's like veiled homophobia for me.
Okay. Well, I think it's just sort of like, guys in a frat and they're wrestling and stuff. It's the same thing. Like, I'm going to pull your pants down. Like,
I
why?
think this is even more over the top.
Yeah. The pulling the pants down, I don't get it. Like, why is that funny?
That grabbing on that, like, I can't, my husband would never feel compelled to do that. I don't understand that. That's
You mean to you or to someone else?
to like another male friend. Like, why?
No.
It's either,
No.
you know what it is?
Yeah.
It's either veiled homophobia, or it's trying to mask your own desire to touch a man.
I think you're getting way too deep into it. I just think they're immature.
And you're not immature at 44.
Well, yes, you are if you're Jax.
I mean, no.
Okay.
Like,
Yes.
everyone's always like, oh, he's a grown father now. Like, why do you act like that?
But I like you're the same age when you come out of prison, when you go into prison. So if you go into prison at 17 and come out at 30, you're still 17. I think you're the same age on a reality show when you start the reality show as to when it ends. So I think Jax is still like 30 years old and thinks it's fun to like party and pull somebody's pants down. It's not so fun when you're 44. You know what I mean?
I don't know, but you look back at some of the dumb shit that they would do, like when they did the prank with like the steak and they put it
Yes.
on their butt. I'm like,
Yeah. That's
They're-
weird.
there's layers to that.
Yeah. Well, okay. All
Remember
right.
I talked about that with Anthony, or if you remember, I talked about that with Anthony one time and he thought it was weird too.
Anthony Lario.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. R.I.P. Anthony, where are you? You never call us back. We don't hear from you anymore. You don't call, you don't write. Okay, so here are the players on the show of the Belly. I'm reminding you, and I'm also reminding myself because everybody looks the same and we don't know them yet, right?
Yeah.
So we've got Jackson, Brittany, duh. We've got Kristen and Luke. Luke's the only blonde, so we can figure that out.
Yeah.
We have Danny and Nia. So Danny is the child actor that now does the voiceover work, and Nia was the Miss USA that has the 3 kids, 3 under 2.
Yeah.
3 under 2 is rough. 3 under 3 is pretty bad, but 3 under 2 is hard.
I also want to give her so much respect
Yeah.
for appearing on a reality show right after having given birth to not 1 but 2 children.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. So I think that whenever this show started filming, maybe they obviously didn't know the exact timing because she just had twins and Brittany just got her chin done, which makes her look like she's in a perpetual frown.
I feel like it was like go time, like
Yeah.
speeding it up.
We said we were going to start in this month, but it was such a
Well, they
yeah.
tried to pitch it like 2 years before.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And there was no interest in it. So then the scandal kind of gave them the opportunity to finally like close the deal.
Yeah.
They were like, all
If you're going to be on it, we're starting next month.
yeah.
But Brittany's already like, well, shit, I'm just 10 days out from my surgery.
Yeah.
And she didn't know. But I mean, looking at her the way her bottom lip doesn't move because of that surgery is very distracting.
Very distracting. I couldn't take it.
It's very distracting because it's her mouth. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have Jesse and Michelle. They're, here's my thing. They have 1 kid. They hate each other and he's a drinker. He drinks a lot.
I think he thought that his child would be more like an accessory and she's trying to hold him accountable. And he's like, I just want to sell like homes twice a month
Yeah.
and just, go down with my boys and,
Yeah.
and smoke cigars. And this is not the life that he envisioned for himself.
Not at all. Not at all. Then we have Jason and Janet. We know them because they're cute and she's pregnant. We like them. And then we have the friends of, which are Zach and Jasmine. All right, y'all, let's talk about bras. You know how I feel about bras. I've been talking about it since the pandemic. I love a sleeping bra. I like to wear a sleeping bra all day. Sometimes you really can't. Sometimes you have to look presentable in public. And I have found the perfect bra. That is the Honey Love crossover bra because it's so comfortable that you can sleep in it, but also you don't look like you're wearing your, pajamas out in public, which I've been known to do. The crossover bra is so comfortable. It's going to be your new go-to. It gives all the support of a traditional bra, but with no underwire, and it's got that mesh detailing that gives you just a little touch of sexy, even though, I'm not one to, talk about such things, but it does. And this is the one bra you'll actually enjoy wearing and you won't be dying to take off. You guys, I've been known to take my bra off like in my car and then shove it in my purse and hope nobody notices. Like, it's not cute. So with Honey Love, you don't have to do any of that. And you won't have that bulge in the back, where it like squirts out of like the back of the bra. You don't have that. Honey Love's bras are designed with this back smoothing fabric to prevent that, which, if you ever see a picture of yourself from behind and you're wearing the wrong bra, you're like, why didn't anybody tell me? So there's also a more relaxed bra that they have. It's called the V bra. It offers that traditional support, but without the underwire. Again, it's designed to lift, separate. It's got the molded cups, and it's not like a shelf-like bra that gives you that uniboob, because God knows that's what I have going on with my other sleep bras. And they also have leggings and shapewear, and I've got some of the shapewear high-waist panties. You guys are so good, but again, so comfortable. So treat yourself to the best bras on the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/pinkshade. You're going to use our exclusive link to get 20% off. That's honeylove.com/pinkshade. And after you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. That's honeylove.com/pinkshade for 20% off. Treat yourself to Honey Love because you deserve it. You guys know what I hate more than anything in the world is when the family says, what's for dinner? And usually it's because we've just eaten lunch and now we're talking about dinner. We always order takeout because it's just easier, but it's never really satisfying and it just doesn't hit home as much as a home-cooked meal does. I love my meal kits. Being able to feast on a delicious meal without the long prep and cook times is what drew me to HomeChef in the first place. I'm not going to be a great chef any day ever. It's too late for me, but with HomeChef, I feel like I can really make something. I read the instructions. There's very little prep. There's very little cleanup. I like the classic meal kits, but you can also get the ones that are speedy, ready in less than 30 minutes. The oven ready kits, they have quick microwave meals. You can do anything to fix your whole family's needs. They have a variety of dietary needs, so you don't have to worry about what to make ahead of time and if it's going to be okay for what everybody wants. They even have these kids meals now that are best for even the pickiest eater. For a limited time, HomeChef is offering my listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life. And of course, free shipping on your first box. You're going to go to homechef.com/pinkshade. That's homechef.com/pinkshade for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. Yes, you heard that right. Homechef.com/pinkshade. You have to be an active subscriber to receive the free dessert, but you're going to want it. Do it. So we start off with Kristen and Jax go to this restaurant, the Smokehouse. And Kristen's like, Jax has known me for 18 years and I'm a vegetarian. And this is the second time he's brought me to a steakhouse. Like, what am I going to eat here? Yeah. But it's so funny because she's like, do you have like lemonade and iced tea, like an Arnold Palmer? And they go, yeah. She goes, that and Tito's. Jax is like, oh my God. He was like, Coke straight, keep it coming. So Jax apologizes to Kristen for yelling at her in the kitchen about the baby situation. And then she was like, I don't know why my male friends are so invested on if I have a baby and who I have it with. Like, my male friends are so invested in this. Like, why do they care?
I think because she's probably the kind of friend that is like vomiting all of her personal information all the time.
Yeah.
So of course they're like, okay, so what happened with so-and-so? Well, what do you mean? Why are you asking so many questions? Because you called me and we spent 3 hours on the phone the other day, or you stopped by and you asked me for all this advice.
Yeah. Well, I think that if she's decided to have a baby with this guy, I think the more they talk about what a bad idea and how awful it is, when she does get pregnant and have a baby with this guy, like, it's time. Okay, well, it's already happened. So you need to, get on board. So Jack says, I just don't think like you and Luke are on the same page. Like, I really don't. And she's like, right, but like we are, and you have to trust that this is my person. She's like, hey, he's like, but you've said that about the last few. I mean, she could say the same thing to him. Like, he said Stassi was this person, and that other girl, I mean, there's been 12 girls that he said, Now we leave that restaurant and we go to Michelle and Jesse teaching their daughter how to ride a bike. And Michelle asked Jesse, did you see the YouTube that I sent you about how to teach a kid how to ride a bike? He goes, no, I did not watch that. I just figured you put your feet on it and pedal. By the way, the bike has training wheels. It's not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's funny because the little girl's like, no, and like refuses and runs off. And then he gets on the bike and whatever. It's like a nothing burger of a scene, but it just really shows that Michelle and Jesse really don't like each other.
Yeah.
They do love their kid though. She's cute. Also, did you catch last week that Isabella's middle name is Bunny?
Yes.
Okay. Why?
I don't know.
Okay. Kristen says Luke is a leader and a real man. Okay. Now, Kristen and Luke go on a run, and they're talking about how all these people have their opinions about them. And Kristen says, but the two of us is all that matters, like what our opinion is. We don't care about what other people think. And they seem very sort of, when I saw this scene of them, like the running and the dog and everything, I thought, okay, I can see it a little more.
So they were introduced by my friend Rachel at her wedding.
I didn't know Rachel got married.
She did. She's so happy.
Yeah.
She's really happy. I was just talking to her about this like two weeks ago.
Because Kristen was a bridesmaid and Luke was a groomsman, and then they banged it out behind a tent at the wedding, which is real classy to do at somebody's wedding.
Yeah.
How does Rachel feel like two people banging at her wedding?
She's like, okay, well, good for you guys. But the sense I get is that Luke is somebody who is calibrated much more for the Colorado life.
Yeah.
And this happens with couples a lot. Someone moves to the other person, and then you're like, go hang out with my friends. You love it. And, and it's like, I don't fit in. This is weird. I'm not. Yeah. He probably goes home a lot and thinks like, I miss my people.
Yeah. And I think too, it's sort of it's like the Love is Blind with Chelsea and Jimmy. And it was like, meet my friends. Well, then that turned out to be a shit show because later on you tell somebody something really important about your friends and now they've got it in their back pocket. And because they're not organically friends, I think that it is a slippery slope. And like Jack said, why, whenever Kristen gets a new boyfriend, do we have to babysit this guy? Like we're going out with the guys and we got to take this guy along. I'm like, well, he doesn't know a soul here. So it would be better to go out at couples, So I kind of agree with that. The guys, okay, all right. No, this is the nipple thing. So Kristen tells Jax about the titty twister. Again, never said it so many times in my life. And then Kristen also tells Luke, her boyfriend, about the titty twister. And Luke, we got a little personality out of him there. He didn't like that.
Yeah,
he didn't like it.
Well, he might be the kind of person that's like, I eat it, and then explodes.
And then I'm furious.
Yeah.
The guys play hockey. It's kind of nothing. But then afterwards, Jesse is saying he doesn't remember that at all, the titty twist. I was like, well, it was on camera.
Yeah.
We all saw it. But he says, I don't think I did that. Like, this is, again, Jesse has a drinking problem. We're leaning into the drinking problem that he has. And Jax tells them, like, yeah, we're going to have a guides night. I think I'm going to invite Alex, which is Kristen's ex-boyfriend.
Those I can't understand how she dated those two men.
They're so different.
And back to back. I'm like,
I remember what Carter looked like.
It's so weird.
I mean, remember that Carter thing?
Maybe she dates people that kind of make it easy for her. Like instead of doing the work and kind of challenging yourself and getting to know different kinds of people.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like she's on the offense.
But they say that Luke is so different from any guy she's ever dated. And because, she didn't find him in LA and she found him kind of at a wedding. And I think a wedding is a great place to meet people.
The worst thing to do for this relationship was to be on a reality show together.
Yeah. I think they've been dating now it's been a couple of years, right?
Then it's like you want to have a baby on top of it.
Yeah.
This is like a lot.
She did say last night when we were talking to her, because Ingrid hadn't watched it or didn't know anything, I was asking her about like where Luke lived. And she was saying, he lives on this 7 acres in Colorado. And she was, of course, Ingrid's like, is it near Steamboat? Is it near Aspen? Like Ingrid, she was like, no, it's literally like in the middle of the state. It's closer to New Mexico. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything about geography. So I'm like, is that near Nevada? Like I know nothing about nothing. But she was saying it's definitely not what you're thinking. It's definitely not like super, super mountainous. Yeah. But she was like, he just really, really loves it. And and I was like, sounds like a great place to go and visit for like a week or so. And she was like, right. Yeah. So she didn't act like she hated it. She acted like it was beautiful. Mm-hmm. So now we get the baby shopping. How did you feel
I don't care about baby shopping.
Yeah.
It's like, stop. I don't care. I don't need to see the new products. I don't find it interesting at all. I'm like over it.
Okay. How old is your youngest baby?
5.
Okay. So my youngest baby's 18. So I am fascinated by the new baby products because my niece just had a baby and I'm like, what is this magical thing here. Now we still have the thing with the play mat on the floor for the tummy time with the mobile above it.
Yeah.
That's still a staple. And we still have the saucer that you sit in and bounce around.
Yeah.
But the swings and the strollers and things are so different now. DockATot, what?
Well, and you also spend way more money on a baby now than they did.
Yeah.
When you know.
And you really do need somebody to come with you and be like, here are 4 things you need and here are 12 things you don't.
Yeah, like this is like such a waste of
This
money.
is your kid will never get in this and it's $1,000.
Too many like extra things trying to convince people that they need.
It's like your baby will not stay in this thing. It wants you to walk around holding them and breaking your arm. They don't want to get in that rocking thing.
Nope.
They want you to hold them until your bicep is bleeding. So then we go to Danny and Nia and their house, and she's like, come help me. Because the 18-month, is wanting apples, and then he's holding one baby, and then they're talking about the amount of breast milk that she's pumped. And he's like, you're doing great.
He
Because
seems like a nice husband. I like him.
because she's about to go out of town for her pageant business. And she's like, we're going to hire somebody to help you at night. I mean, this is a lot, and what if he's got to do like a voiceover for The Walking Dead? He's got to get in the closet and make those scary sounds and for the kids.
Like the rest of us.
I mean,
yeah.
So I have high hopes for them. I like them. I like them. That's good. We need somebody to root for.
I know, you have to have a good couple.
You have to have a good couple. Guys night. Okay. So we go to guys night. So Luke is really wanting to talk to Jesse about the titty twister again. Here we go. But it's funny because when you and I had comments about Luke's order is whiskey on the rocks, which you would expect of a mountain man. Jack's order is vodka on the rocks.
Very odd.
I mean, vodka on the rocks is that's something. That's really something. And then who else ordered something? Jesse ordered a skinny margarita with a side of Casa Azul, like a side of tequila in his tequila.
Wow.
Okay. Again, we're setting it up. Jesse's got a drinking problem. So they all sit around. It's very awkward between Luke and Jax. And that's when Jax was like, why do I have to babysit these people,
Yeah.
Which I kind of get, but just be nice. So they're on a show together. So, yeah. So so Jesse and Luke do talk at the bar, and Luke's like, it was like kind of inappropriate. And Jesse's doing this whole thing of like, I don't think I remember it, and he was like, just because you don't remember it, I mean, it didn't happen. They have this whole thing. Producer asked Jesse, are you afraid of Luke? And he says, that's like asking a panther if they're afraid of a kitten.
That was a good line.
It is, but I was like, he's a solid foot taller than you.
Yeah.
And it seems like he chops wood on the daily. So he probably could take you.
That's a good point. Yeah.
He probably could take you short alcoholic. So just kidding. I don't know if he's an alcoholic, you guys. I'm just telling you.
I feel like that guy is like the double reject from Fine Beverly Hills.
Jesse.
Yeah.
That's a great. Oh, yeah. I wonder if he works at the agency. Wouldn't that be wild if he did?
I think they have their own little twosome. So they're stuck together. They work together. And then, you know what? He worked at Hilton and Highland.
He did?
Yeah.
And now they're on their own as realtors, but they're not like a couple in a firm.
No, they have their own firm, but I think they both worked at Hilton and Highland, which is a weird crossover with Fine Beverly Hills and Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
But here's the question: now that they're separated or getting divorced, what happens to that business?
I think they'll probably work together.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's just now the only thing that will probably change is they don't have to have sex every 3 months.
Wow. Well, I guess it's like Tarek and Christina they had to keep their shows on there.
It's around the corner for me, that girl Christina, and she was walking her dog the other day with her husband. She's very small.
I would imagine.
I mean, very small.
But then remember, she had that baby with that aunt guy that used to date Renee Zellweger.
Yeah, and they used to live near me, and he was always so friendly.
And then immediately now she's with this third guy.
Yes. And
so she had 2 kids with Tarek.
Yeah.
And then one with Aunt. And then now another one with this guy, right? Or no?
No babies. In fact, I had an inside scoop. I was at the beach, and I was with somebody that knows them, and she said that Christina absolutely does not want to have any more children at all.
Okay.
But I think they're business partners. Like she and her new husband are business partners.
What happened with that aunt guy? That was so quick. I was like, she had a baby and then they broke up.
What I heard was, and I don't know if this is true, it's like a rumor, is that she felt like they lacked chemistry.
Well, I mean, he's hot, she's hot, yeah.
But I find Aunt to be very handsome.
Me too.
So I don't know. But he lives in Laguna. like next town over. And Renee is with him all the time.
They're still together.
Laguna.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I like about her? Like, she just casual clothes.
Yeah. I like that too.
But people tell me they see them with the son all the time, Hudson.
Oh, okay.
I think she's probably like a great stepmom.
I think she is too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we were telling Matt Moore today, he'd be a great stepdad.
He would be a great stepdad.
Yeah.
Some people really are like so good at that. Like, I think a lot of kids hit it out of the ballpark in terms of luck, the jackpot.
Yeah.
With some great stepparents. Yeah.
How about you? How'd you feel about your step-parents?
Well, my stepfather was a con artist. He was a Korean War veteran and emotionally tried to torture me.
So that wasn't a good experience.
No, but it made for a lot of funny stories. So
yeah. Well, it's like
something out of it.
Yeah, so my dad says makes a great story.
Yeah,
you gotta
it
makes a great story.
Yeah.
Sometimes my dad will tell things, I go, that's not what happened. He'll go, but it makes a better story. I'm like, it does make a better story, but 2/3 of that's not true, Dad. He'll go, oh, Mary Payne, it makes a better story.
Are all the sisters double named?
No, my oldest sister is Finney, Finney.
Yeah.
My middle sister's
Is
Tay.
Finney short for something?
Mm-mm. Her name is Finney.
Okay.
So that was my grandmother on my dad's side's maiden name,
Okay.
Finney. And then my sister is Tay, which is short for Taylor. And she's always been Tay. Her name is...
Your parents were ahead of the curve with the name Taylor.
My mother's maiden name is Taylor.
Yeah.
So they named Finney after the maiden name on my dad's side, Tay after maiden name on my mom's side. And then I came along and because I wasn't a boy, by the way, all the males in that side of the family have the Payne name, all the males. But we didn't get a male in my family, so guess who got the Payne? Me. So Mary Payne. Sorry about it. I can't help it. So Panther and a kitten. Okay. So Danny, they're asking Danny about the thing about asking Alex, because Jax has said he's going to ask Alex, Kristen's ex, to this event.
Mm-hmm.
And Alex, wow. So Danny's like, no, I'm not friends with any of Nia's exes. Nia is not friends with any of my exes. Mm-hmm. This is how you keep a stable relationship. Mm-hmm. And Jax is like, but if I didn't have any friends that weren't people that have slept with Kristen, I would have no friends, because even I've slept with Kristen.
Touche.
I know, but I don't like the way he's making Kristen out to be like a whore.
I feel like they have some weird sexual chemistry issue.
Yeah, unresolved.
The way that they get so wound up about one another.
Yeah.
They need to just like sleep together and call it a day.
But they already did.
Again.
They needed to get it again to make sure it wasn't good, like they remembered it.
Yeah.
Jax is such like a girl, and I hate not to put down girls, but he's so like involved in the women's business.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he would be like a housewife, and then it's like one of these house husbands. You're like, go away. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say, PK. Jax is like that.
His small way of exercising an active power. Like, he doesn't necessarily like at points has not owned anything, but derives a lot of power in kind of setting up circumstances that are manipulated to get a reaction out of people.
Like drama filled. Like he likes drama.
Yeah. It feeds him.
Yeah. We were talking about that last night, about people that really thrive on drama. And I was just like, it would just be so hard to live like that, because you would always not know what the next thing is coming. Or like if I go to a party where I think I'm going to stand around and have Chardonnay with my friends, and next thing I know, people are fighting. Like I cannot live like that.
No.
I like to talk about it, but I couldn't live like that.
Okay.
So Alex is going to come to this guys' night, and we saw Alex and we're like, what in the what? He looks just like Jonah Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you think he looked like Jonah Hill?
Yeah, I just don't get it at all. I didn't know. Oh, well, yes.
And then Kristen was like, they had this, terrible relationship where he would say mean things to her, like, you're a washed up reality star and you don't want to hear that from your boyfriend. And they had this bad relationship. And of course, Luke is saying to Jax, Luke is like, I know Kristen's side of it, and that's the side I need to know, because she's the one I trust. She's my girlfriend. I don't need to hear his. I don't need to meet this guy. Like, if this would be like me meeting like an ex-girlfriend of my husband, like, give me all the dirt. Like, I don't need to know that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm living with this guy, So it is very weird that Jax is like so invested in Alex coming and saying like, Alex and I are such good friends. I was like, really?
Yeah.
We've never heard of this guy. And were you just friends because you met him because he was dating Kristen?
Yeah.
Or were they friends before that?
I don't know, but I feel like there could be an element of like, I have so much pressure on me to make this show a hit.
Oh, that's a great point. He's like, what can I do on episode 2 to stir some shit up?
Yeah.
I already yelled in the kitchen when I was allegedly coked out of my brain about Kristen having a baby. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. So Jax is talking to Luke and he's like, Alex is a really nice guy. And I think you guys would really be friends. And I want you to meet him. And Luke says, I'm not okay with a guy like that treated my ex like that. And why would I give him a chance? Why would I want to be friends with him? Like, I don't know. I have her back 100%. Like, she is the person I'm with. And Jax goes, yeah, I want to be sure that you've got all the right stories. And Luke's like, I don't care what that guy's story is. And Jax says, yeah, I invited him. Did I fuck that up? As Alex like walks in.
Yeah. But Alex's outfit too was
What was happening?
So weird.
He's wearing like a white beanie.
Yeah. It was like a hip hop star who plays skee ball.
Let me tell you what, I'm so good at skee ball. I love skee ball. I'd like to have a skee ball in my house. So now Michelle, so Jax is hosting the guys' night. So Michelle is having the girls' night. And we know this because at the beginning, she had all the Chinese food, but she hadn't plated it yet. And Jesse came in to chastise her for not plating the Chinese food correctly and in time.
Yeah.
And she was like, I was dealing with our baby.
Yeah.
You know, fuck off.
Care. That's like not important.
He's like, I'll take a tequila with the side of tequila. So girls' night, and then Zach is coming too. Zach is coming to the girls' night. And he does later say he's never in his life wanted to be more at a guy's night ever. So Brittany tells Kristen that Alex has been invited. And Kristen, I think, is completely justified in being like, what the fuck? Like, she's there. She can't do anything about it. She can't warn Luke.
Yeah.
She wants to protect Luke, but she can't do anything about it. I feel bad for, like, I'm like, am I Team Kristen now?
Yeah.
It was bad. And my note here is I think Kristen and Zach are right and Brittany and Jax are wrong. Because you made the point more than once during this episode that Brittany just stands up for Jax no matter what.
Oh, God, she's the worst. She enables his behavior over and over again. It's exhausting.
And Michelle said that, too, about the pantsing thing. She was like, it doesn't matter. Like, Brittany shouldn't have been like, it's okay that he did that. It's okay that he did that.
I understand it. I just am like, he's such a loser. The way he treats you. Like, why? I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
And again, I can't get back to that bottom lip. It's frustrating.
It's hard to watch. And I think she just didn't know. Like, again, I think they said she thought they had 30 days to pick up cameras and they gave him 10.
I think so.
Yeah. And they're like, well, shit. She's like, my face isn't healed.
Yeah.
This one just had a baby. She's pumping and she's going out of town on this business trip. I mean, I think all of it was rushed. I think I'd love to know the time frame on that if you know any director. Okay. Okay. So at the girls' night, something weird happens at the end, right? So Kristen is really getting mad at Brittany. It's like, what the fuck? Why do you think this is okay that Jax is doing this? And then they do this thing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 minutes later.
5 minutes later.
5 minutes later, and they're all screaming at each other. And Zach is like, I don't care. I didn't say that. Blah, blah.
Yeah.
So what happened? What do you think? Prediction? Because there was no scenes for next week, at least not on Peacock.
Well, didn't he say it had to do with Michelle?
It has to do with Michelle. He's saying, I didn't say that. It seems like this is going to be a recurring theme that maybe Michelle has like told the friends she's not happy or something. And then Zach is like running his mouth, you know?
Oh, so you think she's told Zach I'm not happy in my marriage and he repeated it. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Or Michelle told Kristen told Zach. You know what I mean? That she's not happy. Jesse got drunk and told somebody.
Luke and Kristen are not totally happy together.
No. No, I'm not going with that narrative. I'm not falling for it. I'm not falling for it. I will say that, God, what did Kristen say last night? Something about the show. Oh, she said something like, yeah, I mean, you guys need to let Bravo know, like, you're happy to have me back on your television or something like that. I was like, I'm happy to have you back on my television. Like, I think it's great. Like, you don't have to tell me twice, girl. But yeah, she did apologize to Ryan Bailey for telling him the wrong thing about Jackson Brittany. And Ryan goes, it's very weird that they're sitting together doing press when they're separated. He was like, I've never seen anything like it because they're on the screen together. And then the minute the camera, like the recording was over, you could see they turned away from each other. Yeah, I don't like it either. But she was there last night and she was sitting in the area with him, but they were not like he was busy bussing tables and jumping in selfies. And
she didn't help out. Isn't that like their bar?
No, there's not any way she could have picked up a plate. Her heels were spike 9-inch heels with like bell-bottom blue jeans and a corset.
Wow.
That was not an outfit that she could have busted table. Jax was in tennis shoes and he was running around in a hat He jumped in my picture. I wanted to be like, remember in 2019 when I met you and you told me podcasting was stupid and nobody can make money from podcasts?
I never forget these.
Never. I really was like, if he would have like chatted with us a lot like Kristen did, I would have like jokingly said it to him. But he was too frenetic. He was too like, he couldn't even sit down with them very long.
Yeah.
He had to keep it pushing. And then Brian's like, we got to go before Sandoval shows up. I'm scared. I don't think Sandoval showed up. You guys, I'm here in LA. I'm feeling very LA. I'm going tonight to dinner with some other LA people. I'll keep you posted on that. Next, this is Thursday's episode. So next Thursday's episode will be Ingrid and I doing a recap of our LA trip. Monday will be the Loving Elvis documentary with Landon. So go watch that 3-part on Peacock. Tuesday will be 90 Day. And then, like I said, next Thursday will be with Ingrid. This weekend is Bunky Takeover with Meredith and Amy, talking about the 90 Day Tell-All Part 2 and Seeking Sister Wife. So go and listen to that. Do the thing where you go to Kate Casey's podcast and leave a 5-star review and do that for me. And Kate, tell everybody where to find you and about your Substack.
So you can listen to my podcast everywhere, but on Mondays I put out a must-watch list in unscripted TV. So any reality show, documentary, documentary series that week that I think that you would like, and go to katecasey.substack.com to get access to that. And I'm telling you, I'm going to save you a lot of time.
Yeah, it's great.
So sign up for that, Patreon for bonus episodes, and you can follow me on Instagram at KatecaseyCA, TikTok, it's Kate Casey, and Twitter and Threads at Kate Casey.
Wow, you got that down, girl. Yeah, you guys really go and subscribe to that Substack. It comes to your mailbox and you're like, oh, I consult that thing all the time. Like I'll look Kate Casey and then I'll look and I'll go back. If I'm looking for a documentary to cover, I'm like, I'm going to go and look and see what Kate told me to watch. So I don't have to just go through Netflix and scroll. It's helpful.
There's one this coming week.
What is it?
Did I report it yet already? No, wait.
What is it?
There's one on the Sandy Hook versus Alex Jones. That's on HBO.
Oh God, that sounds dark.
I know, but I don't know. Fascinating. There are two. Okay, there's Madu. If people have kids, Madu is about a 12-year-old Nigerian boy that enrolled in a prestigious ballet school in England. Very uplifting.
That's uplifting. Okay.
And then the other one is Steve Martin, a documentary in 2 pieces about Steve Martin on Apple TV Plus.
Okay. I would think I would like that.
You'll like that one. And the reality show that I want everybody to watch is called The McBee Dynasty, American Cowboys. It's about a father and his 4 sons. It's basically Yellowstone meets Succession. And this is coming from somebody who loves stuff about women. I really liked it, watching a dad and 4 sons. And I have to say,
it's on Peacock?
It's on Peacock.
Yeah.
This family are the kindest people. I don't know if it's because they're from Missouri and all people from Missouri are kind. They are so lovely and great.
You interviewed them, yeah?
They're a riot, and they, roast each other and are just very sweet. And I don't know, is that a Missouri thing?
I've never been to Missouri. I don't know.
It seems like, oh my God, being around housewives from cities and they're like always, all about them, and they're not very gracious if somebody spends the time talking to them and interviewing them, certainly make them look like more human. And I just think this family is just so funny and nice. Yeah,
couples
will love it. All couples love it.
Okay, because people have been talking about it in my Facebook group, and you've got a big Facebook group too. And every time they mention it, Kate has talked to them. Kate's recommending it. So
it's really good. That'll be a good one for the plane.
I got to watch Quiet on the Set and depress myself.
Quiet on the Set. I've interviewed those directors.
That's rough. It's a rough watch.
I just don't understand in the year 2024 how anybody would want their kids to be in the entertainment industry. I don't get it.
I don't either.
Especially after you've watched this and been armed with all that information. I have friends that have kids that they're pushing so hard, and it's like, this is about you and not about them.
Yeah.
I've never met one child, and Lord knows I have a lot of them, that's been like, I want to be in a movie. Maybe they're like, I'll be in a school play, or I'll be on someone's TikTok. But not like, I want to go to auditions in Hollywood. I think that's a very unusual child.
Yeah, I think you're right. You guys, Kate always has the hot take. So follow her podcast, Reality Life with Kate Casey, and get on that Substack. And Kate, we did this right on time. I'm so proud of us. All right, everybody, follow me on Instagram at Pink Shade Pod for all the LA updates. I got a little highlight reel going at the bottom. You can click Los Angeles or LA 2024, and that's what's happening here. And my dinner tonight will be very interesting, so you guys want to stay tuned. Okay, bye. Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.